Tony Wilson's race got off to a shaky start when he lost his boarding pass only moments before his first flight. And it seems he's going for the gong this year as our most accident-prone racer. Tonight we see the big lug in Idaho, USA, where he ate ribs, and more ribs. He went to church on horseback and he lost his Visa card. Oh, lucky he had a kindly partner there to help him get back in the saddle, Cowboy Rudy Gonzalez.
The producers of race back in Australia say it's sometimes a good idea to get in a nation's regional costume. So, Rudy, could you rhyme any word in the English language?
All but orange. Give it a little time, you can work it out.
Okay, I'll test you out. Ranch.
Oh, chance is always good.
Spur.
A cur, that's an old dog.
Silver.
Silver, oh my goodness, I just have to say Lone Ranger. I don't know what's gonna, what you'd take is the last letters, like the ER, and you'd have another ER word rhyming with it. We're going over to the supermarket here to get some groceries.
Rudy Gonzalez is a cowboy, a poet and an entertainer. And he runs a ranch here in Meridian, Idaho. 10 years ago, Meridian was a pretty rural town, the perfect place for a man to contemplate cow and sagebrush. But it's now been consumed by the expanding suburbs of Boise. And does the poetry have to rhyme?
I prefer rhyming verse. Some of the modern art folks like this free verse, but I've never seen a cowboy contemplating free verse poetry and saying wonderful things about his saddle horn.
And does this sort of thing, does that come through marketing or is that through cowboy?
Oh, that's cowboy. That's just cowboy. Cowboys are typically a rebel. We try to keep clean and presentable, but you got to have just a little bit of that. This is who I am.
And what are the must-gets at the supermarket for the Gonzalez's?
Well, you got to have your basic food groups, like your basic Cheetos and your basic cool, refreshing beer and soda pop, and you just got to have them.
This afternoon, Rudy is booked for a charity performance at the Western Pines Retirement Village. For a cowboy entertainer, it's a tough crowd.
Now, he don't give any warning, and he don't pitch any slack. All he knows is he don't like nobody on his back. Too many hands have tried him. That's how I came to know. I think you ought to pass him up. He sure can rodeo. But if you're feeling salty or just want to try your luck, you can take a shot at him. But this old horse can buck. There was a time when this country took time and neighbors took care of one another. I'll be a doggone cowboy all my life. When men were in love with their own wives, ladies were revered as wives, sweethearts, and mothers. We share that with folks, and we leave them with a good, warm feeling, and they like it.
Thank you very much, Rudy.
It's a frightening thing. I look out over here and all I can see is new construction. Billy Graham said something that was kind of neat years ago. He said he liked it better in the mountains, but his work was in the valley. And I guess that's what it is with us.
Having already given me his hat, Rudy had for me one final farewell gift.
His name is Tony Wilson, and he's confused his cowboy's life to sunder. He came from out of town. You might say he come from way down under. We shared our cowboy life in song, and his country songs he would sing. We did not know the problems all this singing just might bring. Now when I sing my cowboy songs, I'm bewildered as can be. It seems that all my songs keep sounding like y'all come a waltzing Matilda with me.
You'll... I can't draw it. I was going to draw my gun on you. It's a you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
I'm the cowboy that just happens to perform. That's all it is. I don't have any act. I'm just a cowboy, and that's all I can share.
And that was Tony Wilson, just a doggone cowboy, living high and wide in Idaho, USA. Bob.
Oh, I like it. The simple story, very, very effectively told.
Lots of charm.
Very nicely structured. And it's visual, too. I like when he uses the supermarket trolley as a dolly. Tony's always looking to get the best out of every situation. He's got a very good eye. And what's really important for a documentary filmmaker is he likes people.
Yeah.
It's obvious. They like him.
Yeah.
And he gets very good performances out of them. So consequently, it's a lovely portrait of a small town or a small-time performer and a bit of a social commentary on suburban America. 16.
Yeah. 16. Okay, Marcus.
Well, I think Banjo Patterson would be rolling in his grave, but I liked the poetry nevertheless at the end. I thought it was a fantastic story. I enjoyed the fact that Tony managed to actually run 3 stories in parallel: his own story, the main character's story, and then finally the story of the encroachment of suburbia on these country towns. I thought his empathy with the main character, also when he could have been quite patronising, was fantastic. And technically, I mean, the coverage is amazing, that he manages to get the dolly shot, as Bob mentions, and then also he covers getting in the car twice and all this kind of thing. So I gave it 17.
17. Okay, out of 20, Rosemary?
16.
16.
I like Tony. He's got a heart. He's the most melancholy 6'5" man I've seen. He went to Idaho, USA, and it was Idaho, found this tiny little hut and this sort of buffy cowboy and took us on this lovely journey, and I think there's a lot of room for those sort of stories. I do think at the end when we see him, singing songs, I think that maybe more went on than he was willing to show us.
Yeah, I'm sure tons of stuff went on there, yeah. Okay, well that gives us 49 points there for Tony Wilson.